it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Your support helps out with the channel. Here we are on Steeps. Don't get triggered. I know it's called Steps. But here we are on Steeps. I am Tier 7 in my VK4503 Premium German heavy tank. Pretty good tank. A lot like a Tiger 1 to some extent. Maybe a little bit more useful armor. But I am middle tier on this, and you can see that as far as the setup goes for heavies, mediums, TDs, and whatnot, it's fairly even. So not a bad setup for us. We are on steps, and it is an encounter battle. So we're going to talk about two things on this. The first thing we're going to talk about is how do you know when to push? How do you know when to push? We're going to talk about flank and match assessment, and then we're going to talk about an overarching meta for this map, and that is why you don't try to fast cap. Why you do not try to fast cap or rush cap on this map. So off we go. I've got an Emil 1 coming with me. We've got a low in me as far as heavies go, or a low and a 100.1 in me. And you can see that the low is coming, the 100.1 is heading off, so it's fairly light over here. We've got a low, we've got me and the Emil, and we are pushing over. Usually get spotted by guys getting up right there. You can see that that happens. What you want to watch out for on this map as you cross is that open spot I'm about to cross right there can be hit from where that 3002 is. But he is kind of busy looking at the scout and getting hit by people. But I'm just going to come around here and see if I can take a shot. And guess what? He wasn't busy enough to shoot me. So good thing is I've got some armor and I was able to survive that shot as far as not taking any damage, though he did hit my track. Alright, so as far as fighting right here goes, you can see that the Emil has taken that back spot, back by that rock. That's actually my favorite spot right here. He took it. They don't need two of us there, so I'm going to move up into this rock. The low is moving up along this ridge right here, and that's going to become very important. They do have a significant amount of tanks invested right here. These guys, I'm not sure what they're doing, but they seem to be headed this way, so that's interesting. Remember that. A lot of our guys are sitting back at the moment. I didn't notice we have a Type 95 platoon with an M44. Good work there. And I'm going to come around this corner. Now, I don't particularly care for this corner right here because it is rather exposed. The nice thing about where the Emil 1 is he can side scrape right there and won't be seen until he shoots unless they move a tank up to here. And that's important because they haven't, have they? The low would have seen him. They are all content to kind of go hold down back here, and that's important. Get to that in a moment. I'm going to come around here, see if there's anyone there. There's not. There's some guys there. Fire off, get a shot, and probably a little too much pokey poke there. Got lucky with a hit and a pen on that with just regular AP, especially on that guy's turret. Holy cow. And he ends up killing my driver, and I get stuck on this rock. So overall, not a great first exchange. I think had I that to do again, I would have poked the first time and not come back. I mean, I'll take the damage, but that was quite lucky. Now, look what the 122-44 is doing. He's abandoning that. The low is down below, and I said we would talk about when you know it's time to push. It looks to me like these guys are going to play very passively right there. And sitting there and poking against hold down T26E5 and a super doesn't seem like the best plan to me. The low has already sort of moved forward, so I'm going to go around here and see what I can do to change this fight just a little bit. Now what you're seeing them hold down there is why people don't like to push in, but the low seems to be also sensing this, and off he goes. So I am going to do a fairly non-standard thing on this map and push right up into this rock. Usually it's the other side pushing into our rocks, but because of what I'm seeing there as far as them being extremely passive and sitting back, I can get up into those rocks. The other thing getting up to that rock does for me is it minimizes my exposure to arty. Now they do have a 304, that's kind of a pain, but I will minimize my exposure to the 40-43. The low took some hits. He got hammered by the 40-43, which is obviously the issue right there. But now I'm starting to drag our 100.01. Me and the low are kind of dragging the 100.01 and eventually the Emil up because we are up there in their face. Now that Patriot is going to stare at me, because that's what passives do. He's hold down, feeling safe. He's going to stare, and I see, oh, look at this. Here comes the super. Showing his side armor for some reason. I try to track him, but I'm not able to do that. I'm going to take a hit from him here. I don't know what he's got, some kind of dead reloader or something going on there. It just took him a while to aim in, unknown. And here comes the VK 100.1 and the 122. So I'm going to come around here, see if I can get to the 122.44 in a moment. I'll wait for that Patriot to fire, and then I have a clear route to get around. So I can see, oh wow, look at that, the 122.44 is running away. So that's what passives do. Gets worried, off he goes. I miss, unfortunately. And now we got these guys cornered, coming in from every direction. Just enough to get to his tail, although I think I come around too much. Yep, I do just a little too much, and I get hit. And now it's clean up on aisle 2 with these guys. There's the 304. He's found me. Naturally, he's going after me. Why wouldn't he? And we are pushing in. All right, so a great example of sensing that a team is kind of passive, getting up in their face, pushing them back, and then dragging your team along. That is one of the ways you know to start pushing. And it works on lots of different maps. Let's talk about this map for just a moment. There's 2 ways to play it. One is to send your force through here, clean up what's there, and then come around behind them. The danger of most of us being over here is if they get on cap, clean off our guys, maul them enough, and then set up a perimeter to where we actually can't get back. Now what you're going to see them do is exactly the wrong thing. There's that 304 again. He's loving me. What you're going to see them do is they're all going to pile down on the cap in the hole. And that is why your cap rush in pubs is more than likely never going to work. It will once in a while, but it will, over time, lose more than it wins. There's that guy, I owed him one. And I'm just going to push up and over. Now, I don't want to sit up on this track anymore, and I have to. I'm not sure why I didn't just keep pushing on him. I thought, well, maybe I'll try to get away from the comet. But if I sit up here too long, things like that T25/2 will be hammering me. I'm just going to auto-aim this guy. This tank has a great dispersion, even on the move. So I don't even need to worry about it. I can shoot at him in third person, no problem. And, of course, the T25/2 dies. So back to what I talked about earlier on this map, the 2 ways. Sweeping through here, the danger of them putting up the perimeter. What you're going to see this team do is we're going to get a scout. He's going to find them all hiding down on the cap, or most of them hiding down on the cap. And you can see that because it's in counter, the timer goes so slow, you've got all kinds of time to get back. The only way this really works is if their tanks that were over on the west side actually slowed us down, which they didn't. And that was part of the calculus when I pushed in. I said, you know what? From what I'm seeing here, they've got quite a force going to cap. We have almost nobody over there. I've got to drag along my guys. We have to make this happen right now. Come up here. This Challenger starts getting rocked. Somebody's bought themselves a brand new 40T. Take him out. Again, on the move. Don't even need to stop. And, I mean, it's a little close. We've got 40 seconds. I think somewhere back there I said, have fun, Artie. They should have been hammering those guys. You can see Artie going in there. They're just plopping them. And that's the other thing. There's 3 Artie. You cannot sit on that cap and expect to win the game getting spotted. Their best bet right now, so let's talk a little bit about what they should be doing, especially that T-32. He's a new guy, so why would he know? But, well, he's not new. He's got 7,000 battles, hasn't learned a thing. Anyway, he should have been up using that great turret in his gun depression, hammering people approaching. I think about coming in, but doggone it, this IS-6 is pushing on me. He's going to hit me. Ow. With HE, so outstanding. Another new guy, so pure HE, and then we'll come up and clean up on aisle 2. So there you go, 2 things. One of the ways to know, or some of the things you need to look at while you analyze whether you can push up into someone's face or not. And then a more overarching meta discussion for steeps, get triggered, why you don't want to go to the cap and attempt to fast cap on this map. I hope this helps. If you like what you see, subscribe. Otherwise, we will see you later.